Welcome to our weekly business meeting. Today's March 10th, 2020. The time is 2 p.m. Calling this meeting to order. And we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'm going to ask Sean to lead us. Yeah, you knew it right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so before we move on to the consent calendar, just a reminder, be sure to vote, right? The presidential is today, the primary, March 10th, and how many states are we? Half dozen that are participating at least anyway, so just a reminder.
But go to your polling place, don't go to the elections office.
Yeah,
Right, that's right.
Good point. Thank you, Ronnie. Okay, so moving on to, oh, by the way, attending are Commissioners Duncan, Brooks, and Filios. Moving on to the consent calendar.
I move that we approve the consent calendar as listed on our business meeting agenda for March 10th, 2020.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Filios.
Aye. Moving on to the payables list.
I move that we approve the payables for the week of March 2nd through the 6th, 2020, in the amount of $539,067.90, along with jury panel payments in the amount of $2,482.19.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Filios.
Aye. Do we have any changes to the agenda?
Items 1 and 12 have been pulled.
Okay. We don't need a formal motion for that, do we?
No.
Okay. All right, moving on to item number 2. Agreement with the marine contractor Bell Bay and Fuller Bay, Maori Park in North Idaho, with North Idaho Maritime Parks and Waterways, Nick Snyder. Put an SCH in there, sorry about that.
That's right.
I just made you German.
Hey, I'm an Italian German.
Never mind.
There was a marriage somewhere there. Nick Snyder for the record. This is a contract in the amount of $6,000 with North Idaho Maritime to perform various dock and piling work to get our facilities ready for the season. It's paid for with existing budget.
Okay, any questions for Nick? Okay, motion.
I move that we approve the agreement with North Idaho Maritime for the Bell Bay, Fuller Bay, and Maori Park work.
Second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Filios.
Aye, motion carried. Item number 3, agreement for the Spokane River buoy installation, North Idaho Maritime Parks and Waterways. By the way, folks, you don't want to crash into one of these buoys. What is it, 3,000 pounds each?
Well, the anchors are 6,000 pounds, but the
buoy
buoys
itself.
are 40 inches in diameter. But they're lit. You should see them in between the music and the.
Go right ahead, Nick.
The boaters won't be able to use the excuse for KCSO that they didn't see it. Let's put it that way.
Okay. So this is the agreement.
Nick Snyder for the record. Yes, this is a contract again with North Idaho Maritime in the amount of $13,620 for the installation of those buoys to be performed before June 1, as long as water conditions permit. And this funding was provided by Vista, so there's the county has no expenditure here.
Is that in addition to the 60,000?
This is
No.
part
Part
of.
of the 60,000. Okay. So everybody's benefit, Vista has donated $60,000 for the provision and installation of these 20 buoys on the Spokane River. And they're heavy duty, they're basically navigation class buoys. And they're illuminated even at night, so you really have to go out of your way to crash into one of these. Anyway, is that it, Nick?
Yes, Commissioner.
Motion.
I move that we approve the agreement with North Idaho Maritime for the Spokane River buoy installation.
Second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Filios.
Aye. Motion carried. Item number 4, weed spraying agreement with Panhandle Spray Service, noxious weed control. Nick, are you taking this one too?
Yes, Commissioner. Nick Snyder for the record. This is another contract, this one with Panhandle Spray Service for noxious weeds control on all county-owned properties. And this is a typical contract we do each year to meet statute and take care of our county lanes.
Questions? Motion?
I move that we approve the weed spraying agreement with Panhandle Spray Service for our county properties.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion carried. Item number 5, authorize the chairman to execute noxious weed control agreements and enforcement notices based on Resolution 2020-24. Nick?
Commissioners, just for the record again, essentially, this is an annual housekeeping item. Essentially, Mr. Chairman, what it does is allow you to sign these individually rather than bringing each agreement to the board one at a time. It would take a significant amount of time. Sometimes we have up to 20 or 30, so it will allow the chairman alone to sign this. And I think this is about our 15th or 16th year we've done this.
Okay. Any questions for Nick? Motion?
I move that we approve resolution number 2020-24, which authorizes the chairman to execute noxious weed control agreements and enforcement notices.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, and the motion is carried. Item number 6, proclamation from National Telecommunications Week, April 12th through 18th, 2020 for KCSO 911. Colin? Oh, I got it wrong.
Lieutenant Crosby for the record.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just the, looking for the signing and the adoption of the resolution, of National Telecommunicators Week, April 14th through the 20th. 20, although it looks like, better double check those dates now. Let's see that there is a 2019 posted on here, and that's not accurate. Or is this just a copy of last year's? No, I'm suddenly looking at this and realizing-
April 12th through 18th would be Sunday through Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that's actually what it was supposed to be. I don't know if I need to come back next week or if this can be modified.
Council, what sayest you?
Right.
The one I'm looking at says 2020.
Oh, maybe you have a better copy than that.
Yeah,
April 12th.
Yeah,
April
April
12th.
12th.
Yeah, you're good.
Maybe
You're
you
good.
have the good copy and I don't, so.
You do.
And the agenda says 2020 as well.
You're good.
All right, then that's yes.
Okay then. Good.
I can't follow that, sir. I'm just-
We've got you on video. This is neat. Little adventure here. Okay. Motion?
I move that we adopt the proclamation for National Telecommunicators Week, which is April 12th through 18th, 2020, signifying the critical service that our telecommunicators provide.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, and the motion is carried. Item number 7, Memorandum of Understanding, 700 megahertz radio, Southwest Idaho Wireless Integrated Network, Benoit Medical and Wellness Center, Kootenai County Coroner, Coeur d'Alene Tribe, and Shoshone County EMS with our sheriff's organization 911. Is this Colin?
I will take it.
You're on the spot.
Colin McRoy for the record. These are our typical SWE-WIN agreement radio user group memorandums. These ones were just due for renewal, either some slightly past or coming up. So this should be it for at least the next 6 months. And those agencies listed are, and the ones that are not Kootenai County agencies will be sub-billed their radio fees as accordance with our resolution and agreement.
Okay. Motion?
I move that we approve the memorandum of understanding for the 700 megahertz radios agreement and Southwest Idaho Wireless Integrated Network, which includes Benoit Medical and Wellness Center, Kootenai County Coroner, Coeur d'Alene Tribe, and Shoshone County EMS.
Second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion carried. Excuse me, item number 8, general release or refund with Frontier Communications, KCSO 911.
Commissioners, Colin McRoy for the record. This is Frontier got a hold of us. They are in the process of being bought and transitioning to another company, so this is partially why I think they caught this. They reviewed our account and found that there's a line item on our bill that's for anti-alley, so automatic number locator or identification and automatic location identifier. They keep that record. There's a certain amount we're billed per 1,000. They're supposed to do a true up by tariff every year, and that did not happen. So they went back 3 years as they were required by tariff, which they can go back, and they are crediting us what essentially what we overpaid them for. The numbers dropped, and that is because typically people have been giving up their landlines, and so that's what it is. So across the 3 previous years for bills, the total refund would be $36,949. This is a general release that they would like signed in saying that we agree they're gonna refund us this and we're not gonna pursue the matter any further. I think it gives them sort of a clean break in the transition to this new company.
And what is the new company?
They don't have the name perfectly ironed out yet.
So it's like a merger?
They are being bought,
They're being
so
purchased.
the Montana, Idaho, Washington, and Oregon sections of Frontier were sold off to another company. A large investment capitalist firm that made their money in fiber bought them. So they're transitioning from the overall Frontier corporate to this new company. And they're kind of in that transition right now.
Do you know what happens to the money, general fund, the refund? Or does that go back into
It would
KCSO?
have been due to 911, then it would go into 911's
911,
fund. And
okay.
usually in these acquisitions, yeah, they can't give up the name of the company until it's a
Okay,
done deal. So it's
understood.
usually your purchase accounting that happens, so it's pretty normal.
Got it.
So that's signed, Frontier will sign the check and send it to us.
Wonderful. Thank you. Motion.
I move that we authorize the chairman to execute the general release for the refund with Frontier.
Second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion carried. Item number 9, Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, for invasive species, Idaho Department of Agriculture, KCSO.
Lieutenant Ryan Higgins for the record. This is a agreement between Kootenai County Sheriff's Office and Idaho Department of Agriculture to provide patrols at their 4 check stations for invasive species. They'll pay us up to $275,560, and we'll provide up to 34 weeks of patrols at those stations. That's all reimbursed at wages for the overtime wages, overtime costs.
And this is to protect our waterways, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Motion.
I move that we approve the memorandum of understanding regarding invasive species with the Idaho State Department of Agriculture.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion carried. Item number 10, COPS micro grant application, rural law enforcement challenges, traumatic school event response, brought to us by our Resource Management Office on behalf of our KCSO. Kim?
Yes, Kimberly Riley for the record. Deputy Lake is actually here to present the details on this, but I would like to recognize him. He came to us in mid-January with a binder with all of the technical information already compiled and asking us, what do I do next? It's been a pleasure working with him, and we just wanted to recognize him for his work on this.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, commissioners there. As she said, I'm Deputy Lake with the Sheriff's Office, lead deputy, so field and watch commander. I'm looking for approval to seek assistance by the federal government, the United States Department of Justice. The grant is centered on meeting rural law enforcement needs. I generated an idea to put emergency critical medical equipment into schools to the tune of 1 trauma kit per student in our outlying districts. And so I've compiled all the data. We're looking for just under $50,000 worth of emergency trauma equipment to protect our students in the event of a mass casualty assailant or a shooter. So,
So you're looking for
Yeah.
authorization to apply?
to apply.
Apply for a grant.
Yeah.
What do these kits consist of?
They
Just
consist
generally
of
speaking.
tourniquets, chest seals, and trauma gauze. So basically equipment that would stop a massive hemorrhage. So, we're looking to train the personnel in the schools with our SWAT medics and personnel, so putting our best guys
Very
on it.
good.
Thank you for that. Motion?
I move that we approve the application for the COPS micro grant regarding the rural law enforcement challenges and the traumatic school event response kits.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, motion carried. Thank you again, Deputy Lake. We really appreciate your efforts.
Thank you.
Item number 11, approve the quote for cabling for our coroner's office with System Tech, I guess it is. Sean Riley for the BOCC.
Yes, good afternoon, Commissioner. Sean Riley for the record. This is to get all of the proper cabling installed for the coroner's project. The amount is $3,939.48. This is the way the grant likes to have this done, owner provided, owner installed. Right now, there's enough money in the budget to pay for this. I'm working on a deal with Dina. We may be bringing back a resolution next week to find the additional funding for his project, because if you remember, it was overbid, bid over budget, so. But the funding is there to do this, and we'll address the rest of it later.
Understood. Okay. Where is the project? When are we due to complete?
We're hoping to have them in there by the second week of April, which would be
Oh.
about 6 weeks ahead of schedule.
Really?
Yeah. The only hiccup we had, if you will, is the backflow preventer. They got the wrong one, so we had to wait on that, and then the doors should be here, so I've kind of let Greg know that Dr. Keen might be getting a hold of him in April sometime to get him moved, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
Just about
good.
done.
Thank you. Excuse me, item 12 has been pulled, so we
We
move.
need a motion for item 11.
Oh, yeah, we need a motion.
I move that we approve the quote for the cabling at the coroner's office remodel with System Tech.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks.
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan.
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye, and the motion is carried. Item 12 has been pulled. Public comment? None. 2:18, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.